Yep, that is the Air Force flying over. All those jet powers as they're talking about it. Look at them, they're talking about it on the field.
Freedom at work.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Bethel High School, where the Bruins will be playing host to the Crabbers of Hampton on an overcast day on Monday, May the 2nd. This is the game that's being played from a scheduled Friday game that was rained out, and the weatherman said it was going to be nice today, but it's really overcast. Can you hear me with all that racket? Man,
I can hear you only through the headsets.
Got a couple of jets flying right over top of us, and I guess that's a good intro into the game here. As the 7-4 or 7-5 Hampton Crabbers are traveling here to play the Bethel Bruins. 7-4-1 is their district record. So this is a very important game for both teams.
Yes, it is, Mike.
It has
really
a lot of impact in regards to the playoffs that's coming up in a couple of weeks.
Well, the district's beginning to separate just a little bit. You've got some teams that are falling down there at the bottom, and you've got some teams at the top that are beginning to separate themselves, getting ready for this tournament. Yeah. And these are two of the teams.
Yeah, right now the Minchville Monarchs are leading the district with 12 straight wins after a opening season tie against the same Bethel Bruins.
The team that's right out here, and they were one of the teams that were picked to do well in the district this year, and they've done quite well, actually, with a 7-4 record. So we look to see a good game today against these two. Danny Mitchell and his Hampton Crabbers coming off a loss Friday to the Kecoughtan Warriors. They as well need this victory. So this game, as you said, means a lot to both these two clubs today. Of course, every game means something to you.
Well, we're in the back half of the season now, and every win at this point, it has a big impact in regards to the postseason play, because only 6 out of the 10 teams make the district tournament. And right now, either one of these two teams very well could be eliminated unless they get back on a winning streak. Bethel's athletic director there, Ray Smith,
the AD for Bethel High School.
If he knew we had a camera on him, we'd be hollering at him to tell him to smile and wave. But he's standing there with his arms crossed, and
he just wants to make sure everything's going okay. They've worked hard on this field today.
And there
goes
a little bit of rain as the Bruins are taking the field for their pregame warm-ups. Danny Mitchell still here talking with the home plate umpire.
Kenny Galt, the home plate umpire today. Howard Thomas out on the base pass. And there's Danny right there on your right. Kenny Galt, the umpire, on your left.
Shortly here, as soon as our truck gets ready, we'll give you our starting lineups, as Paul, you will have that opportunity to let rip with. And I'll give the Hampton Crabbers their first, and there they are, as you see.
And there they are, folks. Here are the starting lineups for today's game. Leading off for the Crabbers and playing shortstop, number 1, Sean Fields. Batting second, the pitcher, number 13, Matt Schaefer. In the third hole, the left fielder, number 4, Will Johnson, and batting cleanup, the second baseman, number 3, Matt Mitchell. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, number 7, Corey Johnson. Batting sixth, third baseman, number 10, Devin Branch. Batting seventh, the center fielder, number 8, Trevor Howerton. Batting eighth will be the first baseman, number 12, Ryan Trimble. Followed by the catcher, number 16, Ben Ferris. And the right fielder, Charles Ricks. Appears we got too many people there. One of these guys must be a designated hitter for somebody that's playing the game.
Charles Ricks is the number 9 hitter.
Matt Mitchell is playing second base, but he will not bat. The designated hitter will bat in his place.
That's Corey Johnson. That's a young man that gone through a lot of tribulations and all this year and last year with the football team and all. He's if anybody missed the article in the newspaper this week, they really did a very good job talking about that young man.
Yeah, they did. fine family. And I know them, and they are a really great family. And Johnson boys have been playing ball for many, many years here for Hampton High School.
Defensively for the Bethel Bruins, their pitcher right now, their starting pitcher is Brandon Butler. And behind the plate is Kyle Easters. So here's the opening pitch of the game as Hampton's number 1, the shortstop Sean Fields, is the leadoff batter. 1-0 is the count.
We see that was on the mound as Brandon Butler for the Bethel Bruins today. Butler 3-0 on the season for the Bruins.
Ball 2. That was high. Ball 2. 2-0 is the count. They don't have anybody working the scoreboard here today, so we'll have to rely on the umpire behind the plate to make sure we don't make a mistake.
Well, he's going to have a lot of business today if he's going to make sure we don't make any mistakes.
Either that or I'm going to be making a lot of marks on this score sheet. There's a strike down the middle of the plate. 2-1 now is the count to Fields. Leadoff batter for the Crabbers coming into this 7-4, or 7-5, I'm sorry. Ground ball towards the second base area. Second baseman makes the play, and that is Kyle Mumford. Over to the first baseman, and that is Darius Mullen for the first out.
Here's your replay. Sean Fields with that little tapper towards second base. Second baseman picks it up. You got some good speed there by Sean Fields coming down the line. They get him by about a step and a half, but as you can see, there is speed in that leadoff spot for the Crabbers.
So that's the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up Matt Schaefer, the pitcher for the Crabbers. The line shot out to short center field, drop it in for a base hit. Schaefer reaches first base with a single. He was one of the players that was a little bit late getting here tonight because of the AP exams. They had a couple of players that were
to replay on this. Schaefer, left-handed batter, goes the opposite way with that one and drops it in right in the gap in left center. Schaefer just, I believe he's a ninth grader, Mike.
Well, that's going to bring up Will Johnson, the left fielder for the Crabbers, number 4. That one's in the dirt. Looks like it landed about 3 feet in front of the plate. Nice play by the catcher. Keep that ball from getting by. 1-0 is the count.
Will Johnson for the Crabbers, a senior. He's batting .413 on the season. His 19 hits so far this year. Having a great season. He's got some good hitters this year, Mike.
Pop up to right field towards the line. Makes the play for the second out of the inning.
That ball hit out to the right fielder for Bethel, and that's Quentin Rogers out there.
That's going to bring up the designated hitter, Corey Johnson.
Another one of the Johnson boys. Johnson, and Johnson.
This is the Crabbers' place kicker during football season. Excellent athlete. Number 7 to DH. In there for a call strike.
That's a nice pitch right there, Mike. Eyes on the base runners for the Hampton Crabbers. Danny Mitchell known, and there he goes. He's got him moving.
Had a hit and run on the play. The ball's fouled off down the third baseline.
About to mention that the Crabbers are a very aggressive team when they get on the base pass. Danny likes to move his runners along, either by stealing a base, bunting, or hit and run. Saw an indication of that just now as the hit and run was on, and if that ball had gone through, it's a good possibility that runner would have ended up on third base.
0-2 is the count. Got to do what we call in the industry a choke and poke here because he's got to protect himself up at the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mike Hauser along with Dale Rowe here at Bethel High School on a cloudy, overcast day. Paul Rowe. I'm sorry, Paul.
That's quite all right. Dale's over at Denby.
There he goes.
That's a sharp shot.
A shot to left
That one's going to be out of here, Mike. No,
it's
off the fence.
And Danny is sending Schaefer. Play is going to be way offline as Schaefer scores. And on the play, Corey Johnson off of a double advances to third on the play.
And Mike, he laced that one into left center field, and I thought that ball was going to be out of here. Here's the replay. It's a good pitch, and Johnson turns on it. He drives that ball, and you can see it has a lot of distance on it. Goes right to the fence and off the fence. The left fielder for the Bruins out there is Corey Morris. He gets to the ball quickly and gets it back in, but the Crabbers get a run, and Johnson ends up on third.
Next batter is Devin Branch. Today, Devin's playing third base. So we have Corey Johnson sitting down at third base after doubling and getting an RBI. Pitch is a little outside.
We'll give Corey Johnson 9 RBIs for the season. Having a decent year.
Oh, nice curveball, swing and miss.
Nice off-speed breaking pitch dropped right in there.
2 strikes on Branch.
Devin Branch, a senior, batting .390 for the year for the Crabbers. One of 3 Crabbers batting over .385.
Pitch is a little bit outside. 2-2 is the count. 2 down here in the top of the first inning. That's a shot to dead center field, and that one might be gone.
Be in the park.
That one is
out.
So Devin Branch hits a 2-run home run to almost dead center field. That extends the Crabber lead to 3-0 now here in the top of the first inning.
Mike, both Hampton batters back-to-back now have gotten real strong hits off Brandon Butler. There was nothing weak about any of those.
Yeah, that's your number 4 and number 5 hitters. That's where your power is. So now with the bases clear and 2 down, it's going to bring up number 8. He is the center fielder, Trevor Howerton. He will be the next batter for the Crabbers. 2 down.
RBIs 10 and 11 for Devin Branch on that 2-run home run.
Not real sure why the umpire behind the plate called timeout and walked out of there, but
breaking the action there for.
I see it had something to do with the base umpire. He called timeout to check something that was going on off the field there.
I think they might have had a loose ball or something on the edge there.
Pitch is outside. 1-0 on Howerton.
Right off the bat, the Hampton Crabbers have jumped out here in the first inning. 3 runs on 2 hard-hit balls.
That was a pretty fast ball. 1-1 is the count.
There's that off-speed. That's
nice curveball.
He's had 2 of those now, Mike, and I tell you, that just ties you up. Your knees get weak when that one comes across. There's nothing you can do. It's a good little pitch. And he knows it, and there it is again.
So Trevor Howerton goes down swinging for the 3rd out on the inning, but the Crabbers strike first here at the top of the first inning, scoring 3 runs on 3 hits. The big shot by Devin Branch, that 2-run home run to dead center field. So at the end of a half inning to play, the Hampton Crabbers jump out in front by a score of 3-0 with the Bethel Bruins coming up to the plate.
Strange not having that scoreboard out there, isn't it?
3 runs, 3 hits. There were no errors, and there was nobody left on base after that base clearing shot by Devin Branch. Leading off the bottom of the first inning for the Bruins, Gary Tucker. He is their center fielder. Give the defensive lineup for the Crabbers.
Out on the field for the Crabbers. At first base, you have Ryan Trimble. At second base, Matt Mitchell. The third baseman is Devin Branch, and at shortstop, Sean Fields. The left fielder is Will Johnson, the center fielder, Trevor Howerton, and right fielder, Charles Ricks. The catcher behind the plate this afternoon, Ben Ferris. And as we mentioned earlier, the pitcher, ninth grader number 13, Matt Schaefer. And here we go for the Bethel Bruins. They'll lead it off with center fielder number 10, Gary Tucker. He'll be followed by the right fielder, number 15, Quentin Rogers. Batting third, the shortstop, number 8, Corey Galloway. In the cleanup spot, it'll be the pitcher number 17, Brandon Butler. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, number 12, Jarrell Small. Sorry if I mispronounced that, Jarrell. And batting in the sixth hole, the first baseman, number 3, Darius Mullen. Batting seventh will be the catcher, number 14, Kyle Easters. Batting eighth, the left fielder, number 7, Corey Morris. And the ninth hole, second baseman, number 9, Kyle Mumford.
All right, let's go. Everybody's happy.
Well, let's see if Bethel can get back a few of those runs.
Yeah, Bethel's got to answer strong here in the bottom of the first inning.
Yes,
right now,
do.
down early 3-0 after the Crabbers struck fast.
They did, and they're facing the left-hander, Schaefer.
Gary Tucker takes the first pitch for a strike. Fastball down the middle was put in the hole down between the shortstop and the third baseman as Tucker will reach first base with the first hit of the day for the Bruins.
Gary Tucker batting a robust .409.
Well, that's going to...
He just bounces this one right past the third baseman out of his reach.
A lot of speed out there, too. The next batter is going to be the right fielder, Quentin Rogers.
There's another young man on this team with a great batting average, having a good year. He's got .444 batting average.
As the Crabber pitcher goes to first base, you can see that was a setup play because the batter was squaring around to bunt to try to get that runner across, and Devin Branch was coming in hard from third base. There was a nice bunt down to first base. Schaefer bobbled the ball, and I think that was a base hit on the way, because I don't believe that anybody was going to get Rogers because he was going down that line real quick.
The way Schaefer was positioned on that one, the left-hander, he's going to have a hard time turning. Here's the replay. The bunt's down the first base line.
Even if he picks that up clearly, he's not going to get him.
He's got to turn and make that throw, and the runner's going to be safe by that time. So
that's two consecutive singles now for the Bruins as they got runners on first and second. Nobody out here in the bottom of the first inning. That's going to bring up Corey Calloway. He's the shortstop for the Bruins today.
I've got Corey Calloway in one place, and I've got Corey Galloway in another on a sheet here.
I believe it's Galloway.
Galloway,
yes. It is Galloway. Yeah. The difference between a C and a G
would be a straight line.
That's right. And I don't think it's got it there. But anyhow.
We'll make him Corey Galloway for now.
First and second, nobody out. A slow grounder hit to
There's more.
he did get it. So the runner or the batter is out at first base by the unassisted play by the first baseman. And
it is as he taps it down the first base line. First baseman picks it up. Looks like he got a little loose footing there.
Well, that advances Tucker and Rogers to second and third.
You're not going to bunt the runners across. You need to hit it to the right side, and he did just that and got the runners in the scoring position.
Brendan Butler, the first baseman or the pitcher for the Bruins, is now batting. Nice curveball's a little bit low, ball one.
Brandon Butler hitting .367 for the Bruins this year. 8 RBIs and is hoping right here he can pick up a couple more and help himself on the mound.
Inside corner for a strike. 1-1 is the count.
We have lights on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they're attempting to try to get it hooked up. Ball in the dirt. Nice play by the Crabbers catcher, Ben Ferris, as he stops the ball from getting by and keeping the runners there. 2 balls and 1 strike now is the count on Butler.
We're in the bottom of the first inning here at Bethel High School. Hampton with a 3-0 lead. Bethel trying to get some of those runs back.
As you probably could hear, that was a ball. 3 balls and 1 strike now the Bruins have the advantage. One down here in the bottom of the first inning. Curveball fouled back, straight back. That'll make the count full, 3-2.
One out here. Brandon Butler's just looking for something to drive to the outfield so he can at least get one of those runs in. So he'll be looking for a pitch that he can hit.
Tucker at third and Rogers at second.
Oh.
There's a pitch that was a little bit low and real close, but he ends up with the base on ball. That's going to load him up.
That was a mighty good-looking pitch, just a little lower than he wanted it.
Darrell Small now, the DH is up, number 12. Bases are loaded with one down. And we're going to have a pinch runner down at first base. And that's going to be Jason Hudgens.
Hudgens, courtesy runner, number 1. He'll go in for the pitcher. If you're not familiar with that, you can have a courtesy runner for the pitcher or the catcher at any time either one of those gets on base. Nice little breaking pitch right there, Mike.
I'm surprised that the Crabbers don't have their infield in. I guess they're setting up for a double play, but
early in the game.
They do well. They had the first baseman standing on the grass.
I think
and you can see Devin Branch coming in. That was another curveball. It was a called strike. It was a bit on the high side, but Crabbers got the call. 0-2 now.
I think Coach Mitchell's looking at that first inning thinking to himself, maybe we hit this guy hard out here so we can play back for the double play. We're going to get some more hits and hopefully some more runs. He'll take 2 outs and give up 1 run maybe.
That was a waste pitch outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
That's true. If he gives up 2 outs, he won't give up a run because there's already 1 out.
Fastball's popped straight up here to the catcher as he's coming back, and it's
Out of play.
Everybody's ducking out of the way. Count still 0-2. The humidity is a little bit on the high side right now. The temperature is in the mid-60s, but it's very comfortable out here.
Yeah, it feels great.
Pitches outside. Let's see what that is. It is 2-2 now. Andy's on the ball out there. At least somebody is, right?
I hope so.
Beat you to it, didn't I? There we go. 2-2's the count. There's another pop fly out of play behind us. As all the youngsters are chasing after the ball. Probably hollering, bring it back in to get a snow cone. Well, that young man just took a nice little spill out there, running after it. 2-2 is the count. We got 1 down in the bottom of the first inning. The bases are loaded.
Bruins threatening to get back in this ball game early.
Pitch is low. That'll load the full count now. 3-2 with 1 out. Bases are loaded. Let's see what the Bruins have in store here.
That ball's in the dirt.
Well, Gerard gets an RBI with a walk on that one. That's going to bring Gary Tucker in to score the Bruins' first run. Brandon Butler goes to second base with Small on first base. That's going to bring up Darius Mullen, the first baseman. This young man right here can run. He is fast. So if he gets anything on the ground, they're going to have to really go at it in order to get this young man out.
Speed everywhere here.
I believe he plays quarterback for the Bruins, one of them. Pitches in the dirt. 1-0 is the count.
Talking to Coach Wheeler of the Bruins earlier before the game started, and you mentioned it just now with the speed of this young man. He said speed is one of their top strengths. He said he has some of the most tremendous speed merchants he's seen in years playing for this team, and this is one of the young men he talked about.
The line shot right through the pitcher's glove to center field.
Oh, they're going to third.
They're going to have a play. They're going to have him. He's gone. But that's a single for Darius Mullen to score 2 runs. Gerald Small is cut down at third for the second out of the inning.
Good play by the center fielder, Trevor Howerton. He didn't even hesitate, never thought about going home. He went right to third base, and he nails him. Here's a base hit right up the middle. You can see Howerton picks it up, and he goes right to third. There's the run that scores, and here's the second one.
So Darius Mullen picks up 2 RBIs on a single up the middle, scoring Rogers and Butler. That's now going to bring up with 2 out in the inning, Kyle Estes, the catcher for the Bruins. Kyle Easters.
Tall young man, number 14.
Yeah, the score is now tied at 3-3. Curveball in the dirt, and there goes
the runner.
Mullen to second base as he advances on a kind of a wild pitch, I think.
Mullen getting that key hit a few minutes ago to center field, driving in 2 runs to tie the score here in the first inning, 3-3. Nice piece of hitting.
2-1 now is the count to Easters. That one almost hit him in the foot. I believe that's 3-1. I'm waiting for the umpire to give us a signal. He hadn't done it yet, so our truck is on the ball, though. Our graphic guy. There's a nice curveball swing and miss. We'll count now, 3-2. 2 down. Runner at second base is Darius Mullen, who singled and got a couple RBIs a little while ago. Fastball down third base line is foul. Almost a mirror image from the Crabbers' first at bat in the first inning. So far, they've got 3 hits, a couple of walks, and 3 runs to tie it. See if this one they can take the lead on a base hit here. Curveball fouled back off his foot.
Yeah, he fought that one off. It was a good job just to get a piece of that one. Wait for the ball to get back in play here. The umpire gets behind the plate. We'll get things going again. He takes the high pitch there for ball 4.
Well, that put Easters at first with the base on ball. Mullen's still at second base. There are 2 down, 3 runs are in.
Coach Mitchell's going to call a timeout here, and he's going to go out and talk to his young pitcher, Schaefer.
This might turn out to be a relatively high-scoring game here, the way both these teams are hitting the ball right now.
Well, the important thing right now, and I'm sure this is what Danny's trying to get across to him, is that, hey, this is the first inning, and you've got to get out there and you've got to throw some strikes and get these guys out. Don't worry what's happened so far. Let's get out of this inning, get back in here, and we'll get back in this game. But just keep your head, throw strikes, let's get them out.
I was looking to see what class the pitcher is.
He's a 9th grader.
He's a freshman.
Schaefer is a 9th grader.
So they're starting a freshman on the mound today.
Danny has 1, 2, 3, 4 freshmen on the team this year.
You got runners on first and second now. This is Corey Morris, the left fielder. That one almost hit him in the foot and gets back away from the catchers. Both runners advance to second and third.
Mike, we were talking about speed earlier, and we were talking about Mullen. This is another one that Brett Wheeler was talking about. He's got an outfield that consists of Tucker, Quentin, and Morris. And he said if the ball goes up in the air, these guys are going to catch it. They're that fast. He said you just have to see them to believe it.
Curveball is in for a strike. 1-1 is the count.
Schaefer appears to be throwing a lot of breaking pitches here.
Young for throwing that many curveballs. That was right down the middle of the plate, and he didn't get the call.
Well, it's a little low and inside here.
2-1.
See if he goes back to that breaking pitch here with 2-1. He's had some success with it. Nope.
Fastball fouled back here out of play. Back behind the little shed back here. That'll even the count at 2-2. This is the number 8 batter in the lineup as they've almost batted around. Pitch is high.
And he's going to a full count. Second or third time he's gone full on a batter here in the first inning.
Ground ball towards the shortstop.
This could be trouble. Look at this guy going down the line.
And he will beat that one out.
Yep.
So Corey Morris will beat out a single. to the shortstop as Esters advances to third and stops there as Mullen comes in to score their 4th run of the inning.
Bethel goes up by a run on that little infield single by Morris.
Kyle Mumford now the second baseman for the Bruins. I know he's a sophomore. Good ball player.
9th batter of the inning here for the Bruins.
Batted around. I know Danny Mitchell talked earlier about he was really concerned about pitching here on out.
Yes. Danny's had some unfortunate injuries on his club, and there goes the runner down to second on the pitch. So Morris steals second. They throw down to third just to make sure that one is not going to go anywhere.
But now you got runners on second and third. Morris is second and Easter's at third.
As I was saying, Mike, that he's got some trouble. As you know, Johnson is injured. This was a guy they relied on for pitching, and he's hurt his muscle in his arm, and he's not able to throw. So they're having to go with some of these young kids. And as much as sometimes you don't want to put that 9th grader in a situation where he has to be counted on, Danny doesn't have much of a choice right now.
That was popped back here out of play. A lot of foul balls out of play today. Straight back, too. That just tells you that they're that much off of being able to put the ball in play.
You know, the experience this young boy is getting here in this game is going to be helpful to him in the coming years, because he's going to be pitching for the Crabbers for several years.
That was a ball 3 that he actually swung at. Was a little bit high.
Tell you what, it's easy for us to say that would have been a ball 3, but you're up there with the bat and you see something that close and you worry. You just try and get a piece of it and hope you can get the next pitch, something you can handle, and put it in play.
2-2 is the count on Mumford.
Nice pitch from Coach Wheeler right there.
Yeah. Glad I wasn't standing out on the field and have that thing go zipping by me. 2-2 with 2 out. Now they got the scoreboard working, so we're in good shape now.
There we go.
There's a curved ball that's hitting Looper and might fall in.
And
excellent play. He's going to end up with 2 RBIs out of that. Both runners come in to score as Mumford gets a base hit.
Mumford with a little dying quail out into left center field. And, of course, with 2 outs, the runners are off and running. He just taps, gets under that one, and it drops right in there, just out of reach of the left fielder.
What a great job by the camera crew getting us to see, allowing us to see that ball. That's going to bring up Tucker again as he led off the game with a base hit. As this is the 10th batter to come to the plate. Calls out a strike.
10 batters, 6 runs. The score now 6-3, and we're only in the first inning here, Mike. I think we're going to have a little bit of a ball game today.
And there goes Mumford.
And he's there.
He gets the stolen base over to second base.
And that's a situation, Mike, where you've got your leadoff batter up at the plate with 2 outs, and even if you get the runner thrown out, next inning you start off with your leadoff batter again.
Right.
So you take that chance here with 2 outs.
That's a rip to the third baseman,
Nice
Devin
play
Branch.
by Branch.
And he makes the play as the over at third base, Kyle Mumford made a little bit of a mistake getting the third out over there instead of making him have to throw the ball to first base. So that goes as a fielder's choice.
Bouncing ball to that side there. You want to wait and see if it goes through, or let the infielder make the play, make him force him to throw it to first. But like you said, the runner made that little mistake there.
5 hits. They had 6 runs on 5 hits. There were no errors. There was a lot of runners, I'll tell you. There was a couple of base on balls. So after 1 complete inning of play, the Bethel Bruins come back strong and answer the Crabbers 3 runs by scoring 6 of their own.
Yep, we've got 1 touchdown and 1 field goal here.
Or 2 field goals, depends on how you look at it.
Field goals and
another field goal. So after 1 complete, the Bethel Bruins are out in front of the Hampton Crabbers by a score of 6-3.
And we're at Bethel High School, the home of the Bethel Bruins, as they play the Hampton Crabbers on, as we said earlier, a little bit of an overcast sky. Not quite as noisy as it was when we first got here. Air Force jets flying over.
Wasn't that something?
Appears that the sun keeps trying to break out every now and then here off to my right.
Yeah, leading off the second inning of play for the Crabbers will be Ryan Trimble, first baseman for the Crabbers. He'll be followed by the catcher, Ben Ferris, and the right fielder, Charles Ricks.
Bethel 6, Hampton 3. We're in the top of the second inning.
That one misses outside just a little bit. Ball 1.
Nice pitch right there.
Line inside. Ball 2. 2-0 is the count now on Trimble.
Brandon Butler 3-0 on the year, has 3 of the Bruins' 7 wins. He sports a 1.97 earned run average.
That one might go up just a little bit after giving up 3 runs in the first inning to the Crabbers. But that's okay. He has the lead now. His teammates came back strong. He's down 3-0 now to Trimble to lead off the top of the second inning. That pitch is high. 4-0. 4-0 equals a walk, doesn't it?
It sure does.
So Trimble reaches first base via the walk. That's going to bring up the catcher for the Crabbers, Ben Ferris.
That's only the 6th walk that Butler's given up this year. He's pitched 21 innings, struck out 21 batters, and that was his 6th walk. Not too many people get on against this young man.
Inside corner, good for a strike.
Brett Wheeler going with a 3-man staff, it appears, this year. Brandon Butler, Corey Galloway, and A.J. Horvath. Sharp hit to short. Shortstop tries to get that one on his backside. Can't quite get it, and the runners are going to reach. So Hampton coming right back here in the top of the 6th.
Galloway with an infield error there.
See the ball hit right to the shortstop. You see him go to his hand side, his throwing side, and the ball just bounces right off his glove. So that's going to his first 2 runners on. That's going to move out.
That's going to move Trimble to second base. And it also brings up number 11, the right fielder, Chris Ricks. Squares around the bunt, pulls back. That's a little bit low. Ball 1.
Nobody out. Looks like Coach Mitchell's trying to move the runners along here, get them at second and third. That'll take him back to the top of his lineup. See if the batter squares right up. Here he goes. He's letting everybody know. Here's the pitch. Pulls back on that one.
Also look kind of close. 2-0. You must agree the way you were looking.
Yeah, that pitch looked real good. But we're at a different angle.
Oh, yeah.
You have to admit that. Now, folks, when we say pitch looks good, you understand that we're about, I don't know, I'm not a mathematician, about a 60 or 70-degree angle from the plate, so it's kind of tough for us to really judge. But from where we were, it looks good.
And Ricks pulls that back too. Ball 3-0 as the pitcher for the Bruins, Butler, is starting to struggle a little bit now as the catcher's going to call timeout and go out and have a chat with him, kind of calm him down. Trimble reached first by a walk to lead off the inning, and Ferris reached first from an error by the shortstop, and now Ricks is 3-0. 1 pitch away from loading the bases up with no outs.
I got a feeling he's going to be squaring around here and pulling back, hoping he can get that ball 4. Here he is, already starting around. Got the bat out, got it up high. He pulls back, almost hit him or hit the bat. Hit the bat, he's not going anywhere.
Well, what was the call? I'm not real sure.
It's 3-0, and must have hit the bat, and that must be a strike.
Okay.
He's not going anywhere.
I didn't hear the umpire make any kind of a call as to what it was.
Yeah.
Normally, if it was fouled off, he would just throw his arms up and say foul ball, but he didn't do it. There's Rick squaring around again. 3-1 is the count.
First baseman coming in, and he puts it down.
That was fouled back.
It's a good pitch to bunt, though. That pitch was down. Get down and handle that one.
Full count now, 3-2. Nobody out, runners on first and second here in the top of the second inning for the Crabbers.
I'll be surprised if he squares around a bunt on this at a full count. My guess is he'll be swinging away here.
Tried to pick the runner off at second base. He threw it in the ground. That was Makes it a little bit difficult for the shortstop to handle a ball like that.
Butler took a little bit of time on that one before he threw to second. I think they were also trying to see what was going to go on if Coach Mitchell had any plays going on that.
There's a pitch. It's also fouled back.
In and out of the catcher's glove.
Still full count, 3-2. Nobody out, runners on first and second. We're here at Bethel High School. Mike Hauser, along with Paul Rowe.
I'm sure Dale will appreciate that if
he throws him a high
up there.
fastball for strike three swinging. That's the first out of the inning for the Crabbers. That's going to bring up their leadoff batter, Sean Fields. He grounded out to the third baseman, or to the second baseman in the first inning.
Like we're going to have another courtesy runner there. Number 15, Marcel Lambert, going in to run for.
He's running for Ferris. Yeah,
catcher.
Running for the catcher.
Sean Fields, another one of the 4 freshmen that Danny Mitchell has on this Crabber team. Batting leadoff as a freshman, and there's a shot.
There's a base hit to right center field, and they're going to score another run.
We'll get at least one run. The runner, Lambert, going into third. So the youngster, the freshman, Sean Fields, rips that pitch into right center field for a base hit. Picks up the RBI. Here comes the replay. Just a nice shot.
There's a base hit to
Sean Fields just stayed with that pitch, took it the opposite way. Did a real good job. This is a good-looking kid for a 9th grader. Only one out here. The Crabbers pick up another run, 6-4. They've got runners at the corner. And, Mike, it looks like we're just going to have an old-fashioned slugfest here from inning to inning.
What it looks like. Next batter is Schaefer, Matt Schaefer, the pitcher. Another freshman, batting in the number 2 spot. There's a ground ball down the first base line, foul.
Nice catch by Coach Wheeler.
They're swinging, I'll tell you. They can hit the ball. The Crabbers scored 21 runs a couple of weeks ago against the Heritage Hurricanes.
The who?
The Heritage Hurricanes. But I'll tell you what, the Hurricanes committed 11 errors in that game.
Oh,
nice curveball. 0-2 is the count now.
32 base runners. I'm going to guess they scored a few runs. You said 21 runs. I thought you said 21 hits. Good gracious.
Pitch is high and over the catcher's hand.
There goes Sean Fields from first. He'll advance on that wild pitch, putting runners at second and third now with one out.
That changes the philosophy of the defense here a little bit now with runners at second and third with one out.
Should also change the philosophy of the batter. Schaefer should be looking to pull something.
He held up nicely on that one.
Yep.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Could be.
Try and hit something to the right side here. Hit it towards second base. And get at least one more run in.
It's in the dirt, but everybody sits still. I believe the count is 2-2. The scoreboard's got 3-2.
Scoreboard says 3-2.
I'm waiting on our illustrious umpire to give us a signal, which he didn't. Normally on a 3-2 count, he does, though. So I think it's 2-2. There's a
right
shot
to the second baseman. That's going to get the run in.
He'll get the. Oh, he threw it away. My goodness. Schaefer reaches first on an E4.
That's a tough error to make on a play like that because you know you're giving the run up. Here's the play.
Sean Field goes to
Schaefer
third base.
Gets it right to second. Second base has plenty of time and just looks like he had a little trouble grabbing the ball after he got it out of his glove. Probably didn't have a good grip on it. That ball just got thrown away.
So it's now 6-5 in favor of the Bruins. And again, they've got runners on first and third. This is going to bring up Will Johnson. He flew out to right field his first trip.
Look for Coach Mitchell to be moving the runner. I don't know what
got his sticks coming
Schaefer
up.
Has, yes.
Got Corey Johnson coming up.
There's one into right field.
That's going to be deep enough to score the tying run.
Comes the runner.
So Field scores on a fly ball to right field. RBI sacrifice.
Quentin Rogers made the catch on that and got it back in quickly. He knew the run was going to score. They held the runner at first. Here comes the replay. It's kind of a slicing hit into right field. Quentin Rogers right back on it. He grabs it. Boom. He's got the throw in.
So Schaefer's still at first base now with 2 down. That brings up Corey Johnson, who
smashed one earlier, and there it is again. This time he goes the other way, hits that one to the gap in right center. And we're going to have a play at the plate, Mike.
His foot's on the blade.
In there. Good call by the plate umpire.
Yes, sir. We had a perfect view of that.
I'll tell you what.
Coming around all the way from first base, Matt Schaefer, the pitcher.
Sir.
He was motoring as Corey Johnson, who
watch this.
He doubles and advances to third on the throw.
Ball goes to the gap. The fielder gets to it. Now watch this play at the plate. Now, folks are always saying that umpires sometimes are out of position. You can't see it from here, but from where we were behind the plate, that
His
foot was in there.
On the bag.
He was definitely safe, and the umpire made the great call from where he was.
Yeah, the umpire was in great position. Devin Branch now the batter. Devin had a home run his first time at bat over the right center field wall. That one's outside. 1-1 now is the count. Standing down at third base, Corey Johnson is credited with a double, advancing to third on the throw.
Well, he's hit the ball hard both times.
He's had 2 doubles tonight.
Left center, one to right center. Is that right?
Oh, well, yeah, that's correct. The other one went to the fence over there in left center. He's hit the ball real hard. The last one he hit to the fence. I mean, it was right there.
Yeah, we thought it was going to be out the first time he hit it.
2-1 is the count to Branch. That was fouled straight back here, 2-2. The Crabbers have scored 4 runs in this inning to now take the lead by a count of 7-6. This is going to be a wild. This is going to be a wild game here.
Yes, it is.
It's whoever was going to be able to get the outs. There's a rip to center field base hit. Coming in to score is Corey Johnson from third. So that's another RBI for Devin Branch as he is 2 for 2.
Mike, these guys have brought the Thundersticks with them today. Watch his replay. Look how he hits this one. He's right on it. Sticks it right into center field.
So Branch is at first base, 2 down here, and now Trevor Howerton, the center fielder, is up. And this is their number 9 hitter in the batting.
What did he do
in this inning? He struck out last time. Swing. There's a base hit through the hole. So now the Crabbers have batted around. Advances to second base is Devin Branch. My goodness, that's last inning Bethel batted around. This inning the Crabbers have batted around.
Here comes Coach Wheeler. Here's the replay on this one.
He struck out last time.
Once again, we just said it. Boom, there he is, right through the hole between first. Look how shallow the right fielder was playing on that one. He was in there quickly. Looks like Coach Wheeler is going to make a change here, Mike. And I was going to say something earlier. You know, we were talking about getting all these hits and who was going to score last. One of the things I was going to say was we're going to find out which pitcher's going to stay in there the longest.
Well, it doesn't look like he's going to make a change at the mound. He's talking to his infield right now. His infield's had a couple errors in this inning, and that's cost him big time. The Crabbers now up in front 8-6, and we're still only in the top of the second inning. Runners at first and second. Coming up to bat now is Ryan Trimble. He started off this inning with a base on balls way back 2.5 hours ago.
Several hours ago when we started this inning. We may be here all night at this rate.
Eye in his, across his eyes. Ball 1 is the count to Ryan Trimble.
Right now, all Bethel wants to do is get a ball on the ground so they can get the out. There goes
Branch, double steal.
And look at that. There it is.
And it's going to work.
Mitchell has got him moving. And once again, it works. The batter hits that one right past the third baseman with the runners moving.
Howerton advances to second.
I missed it, Mike, but my guess is with the runners moving that the third baseman probably took a step or two toward third, and that ball just out of his reach.
So with Trimble reaching base with a base hit and an RBI, that's going to bring up the catcher, Ben Ferris. He reached with an error to the shortstop in his first trip at the plate in this inning. This is his second time up.
Inning and a half, and we got 15 runs scored.
There's a little looper to the second base. This should do it, and it does.
What's that old saying? The harvest is in?
Man. 6 runs.
Here's the final out of the inning.
There's
jammed on that one, pops it right up to the second baseman.
6 runs on 4 hits. There were 2 errors, and there were 2 left on. So after an inning and a half, the Hampton Crabbers storm back and now lead by a score of 9-6 over the Bruins. 15 runs in an inning and a half. This might turn out to be a long afternoon. Well, the Bethel Bruins will be coming up in the bottom of the second inning. That's going to...
Let's see what they do now.
Quentin Rogers will lead it off for them. He's their right fielder, and he singled his first trip at the plate in the first inning.
Yep. And Hampton jumped out in this game 3-0. Bethel came right back, scored 6 runs. Hampton came right back after that, scored 6 more. So based on that, you would expect Bethel to come right back and score 3.
I guess
6-3.
We're going to flip a coin and see which pitcher is going to last the longest.
Yes.
One of the things that Danny talked about early before the game started when I was over there chatting with him, he said he's hurting right now with pitching, and that's evident when you're starting a freshman on the mound. He's done a good job. It's his control is there. He's got a pretty curveball, and this is a player to be reckoned with for the next 3 more years.
Yes, he is. He's got some good mechanics, and of course, he's a left-hander. That's golden right there.
Every team in the district would be dying to have a left-hand pitcher that can throw the ball.
Several of them have them. See more left-handers in the last couple of years than you have in the years gone by.
All right, Quentin Rogers, the right fielder, he will lead off the bottom of the second inning now for the Bruins.
He got a base hit last time, Mike?
He got a base hit and scored.
He was hitting .444 coming into the game, so that's going to up his average there.
There's a shot to the shortstop. Nice play, throw, and got him by a step and a half.
That shortstop is Sean Fields, the freshman for Hampton. Good, strong, hard hit, 1 bounce. Fields takes it. He's got to get that over there quickly because Rogers gets down the baseline rather fast.
Corey Galloway, the shortstop, is now the batter. He grounded out to the first baseman who made the out unassisted. He was the first player to get an out for the Bruins in the first inning. Pitch is a bit low. 2-0 now. There's a pop fly in the shallow right field. Coming in to make the play is Ricks for the second out of the inning.
Looks like he had a little trouble with that one. That was kind of an off-speed pitch from Schaefer that time. A little bit of a change.
Brandon Butler, the pitcher, now batting. He walked in the first inning and scored. One of the 6 runs that were scored in the first inning for the Bruins.
15 scored in the game so far.
First pitch is a bit outside for a ball.
We had 2 straight outs here, Mike. Have we had that happen yet?
Nope. Foul ball down the first base line, out of play. 1-1 is the count. Nice curveball. Little looper down to first base line, just out of play.
Out of play.
I guarantee you Danny Mitchell is upset that his first baseman didn't go after that ball hard because it landed inside the gate.
I thought it was going to be out of play. And it stayed in.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Again, down the first base line. That
Definitely
one may be out of play. Back over the other side of our truck. see a ball hit the top of our truck and somebody goes say, "Come on in."
Andy Foley.
1 ball, 2 strikes, and the pitch. Right on the inside corner. Goodbye.
Look at that. Brandon Butler froze on that one.
So
And that's a
Butler is
1, 2,
the third
3
out.
inning.
That's it. 1, 2, 3 inning, the first of the game. Of course, we're only through 2 innings, but after 2 complete now, the Hampton Crabbers are out in front of the Bethel Bruins by a score of 9-6. No hits, no runs, no errors, and nobody left.
1 hour, 2 innings.
Whew, man.
Let's see. 1 hour for 2 innings. We play 7. We'll be here 3.5 hours. Is that right?
Okay.
And you're taking me to dinner where?
Okay. So we're now in the top of the 3rd inning. After the Crabbers batted around in the top of the 2nd inning. That's going to bring up Ryan Trimble, who had a base hit and a walk so far today, 1 for 1, and scored a run and knocked in a run.
He's had a busy day. Ryan Trimble.
Well,
isn't he a sophomore?
No, it should be Charles Ricks coming up to bat. It is. I'm sorry. It is Charles Ricks coming up. Had the line in the wrong place, but you know how that is. So Charles Ricks, who struck out looking after starting off his last at bat 3-0. Bethel pitcher came back to get him on a 3rd strike swing. So Ricks will lead off the bottom of the 3rd inning now for the Crabbers. Out in front by a score of 9-6.
Not a pitcher's duel.
And it looks as though the clouds are starting to break up. I see a little bit of blue up there. Look at that.
That's nice. Look at that.
Of course, the sun's still not out because it's back here where all the dark clouds are.
It's okay, though.
If it clears up enough, and we won't have a problem with time. Pitch is high, ball 1.
Butler put a little oomph behind that pitch.
If he can get it down just a bit, that little lump will go right on by those batters.
Will.
That one again is high, same pitch. 2-0. He tried to hit that one out of the park, didn't he?
Yeah, I think that one was a little up, and I think Danny wants to talk to him
have
about
a chit-chat about that one, doesn't he?
He's telling him that pitch was a little up. The boy's throwing you 2 balls up high. You got to look at those and not swing at them. Rick's a right fielder. I believe he's a junior at Hampton. Yes, he is. 11th grade, junior, Hampton High School.
Pop fly in the infield. Let's see who's going to take the play. Mullins at first. Comes across and gets the out.
Backs up on that one a little bit there as it kind of drifted away from him.
So, Ricks pops out to the infield to Mullins for the first out.
Here's your replay. He gets under this one and just pops it almost straight up. And you see Brandon Butler trying to get out of the way, and you can see where he had a little bit of trouble where the ball started to fade on him, but he recovered nicely and made the catch.
Sean Fields, the batter, he singled last inning and scored, and also knocked in a run.
Just a good-looking little player, Sean Fields, a 9th grader, freshman. And I believe Danny's got 4 9th graders starting for him. Double check.
He's got a pretty good mix of players.
Yeah, Sean
on this
Fields
team.
is starting, Tremble's starting, Schaefer's starting, and Matt Mitchell is playing second base. So he's got 4 9th graders all playing.
There's a
base hit.
2 base hits in a row now for Fields as he singles to left field. Matt Schaefer, the pitcher, who has 1 for 2 and has scored twice.
Sean Fields, Matt Mitchell, and a few of these other guys have been playing ball for a long time. They played some JV ball, they played Little League together, and they played AAU. They've gotten a lot of valuable experience in the AAU ball that they played as they played some teams from out. Pitch here, and there he goes down to second. He's going to be there with no problem.
So
Again,
Fields
this is Danny
advances.
Mitchell, aggressive ball.
Fields advances to second, stealing the bag. First pitch into Schaefer was a ball, 1-0.
As I was saying, Mike, a lot of these kids, these ninth graders that Danny has, have played AAU ball, and they get the opportunity to go out of state. They go to North Carolina, they go to Pennsylvania and play teams from Texas, Oklahoma, California, and other areas. And they've been in a competition where the level is very, very good for what they're playing. So when they come to play in high school, they've been in situations where a lot of these kids have played in Little League, but they haven't been in a situation where it's been tough. And I'm not saying it's not tough in Little League, but when you're playing other teams out of state and you're playing for state pride and other stuff, you get a little bit more heart and gumption in there. And
you got freshmen that are playing on a high school varsity team.
It says a lot.
That's a major jump from a Little League field to a big field. And there's a bunt that's been pushed down to the third base. Let's see if he can outrun it. And he got him. That was close.
That was real close.
Doesn't agree with it, but that's going to be the second out of the inning. Advancing over to third base is Fields.
Here comes the replay. Now, this is not – this is the play. I'm sorry. Here's the play at first. Oh, I tell you what. Can we see that again there? We're going to reel it back a little bit. I don't know. I can't tell what's on it. What's on there. It just is.
There's a ball that goes to right field for a base hit, and that was Will Johnson. He picks up an RBI, knocking in Fields from third base as the Crabbers have struck again here in the top of the third inning. We were so involved with what was going on in the last play, we didn't even see Johnson come up to bat and hit. So
I think the toe was on there, Mike. It's hard to tell from the
Corey Johnson, who has had a great game so far in 2 at-bats. He's had 2 straight doubles.
He's not going to get one on that pitch.
I don't think they're going to give him anything to hit now. He's
you think?
I don't. He got an RBI in the first inning. I think he got an RBI in the last inning.
Yep.
Pitch is inside. 1-1.
Brandon Butler's going to keep him off balance here. If he gives him any fastballs anywhere close to the plate, I'll be surprised. As soon as I say that, look.
Right down the middle of the play. 1 ball, 2 strikes is the count. 2 down here in the top of the third inning. The Crabbers have struck again. They now lead.
I'll give Butler credit on that. He's got confidence in his pitch, I tell you.
Ball's in the dirt. 2-2 is the count.
Feed a man a fastball 2 times, and he takes it to the fence on you 2 times. You hesitate giving him a fastball again, but Butler came right with it.
10-6, the Crabbers out in front now.
There goes the runner.
And there's a base hit to second base, and there goes the runner to third base.
We're
and a throw at
the bag. They had him, Mike.
I tell you what. Look, if you look at Mitchell, he is going to be upset with that runner because he didn't slide in. Oh, my. Anyhow, reaching safely is Corey Johnson as he gets a base hit on the hit and run. There goes Will Johnson over to third.
There's the play.
Man, that's probably – you're still going to be sliding on a play like that because he almost got him.
If he'd had the ball in his glove, he'd have been out.
So now we have runners on second and third.
And that was a coached hit. I'm going to call it a coached hit because Mitchell called the hit and run on that. If you couldn't see it because we didn't have it on the camera, but when the ball was hit, the runner on first took off, and the second baseman took 3 steps towards second, and the ball went right where he had been standing.
Right. Devin Branch has issued an intentional walk, so that's going to load the bases up, and it's going to bring up Trevor Howerton. Howerton singled his last at bat. They're going to miss.
Trevor Howerton, I've just been told, is one of Hampton's Citizens of the Month for April. So congratulations, Mr. Howerton.
Swing and a miss, strike 2. 0-2 now is the count, and this is a key batter here for the Bruins. Down by 4 runs in the third inning, and
they could break it open here.
Base hit could hurt.
Base hit, you're going to probably have 2 runs scoring.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about that. That was in there for a call strike. Well, it's 2-1 because I missed one of them. I thought it was 0-2.
Scoreboard
1 ball, 2 strikes.
I thought it said 0-2 a second ago. But
so did I. That's what I had in the book.
Base runners. And now Danny's looking for something was going on over at third base. Have a discussion here between the umpire and Danny. The runner came down the third base line and pitcher stepped off. Danny said something to him, and umpire went out to say something. So.
Well, guess what? The pitcher stepped off of the rubber, so if Danny wanted to turn around and walk and talk to him,
he could.
Yeah, and, you know, as long as he don't touch him, he don't interfere with him, he can talk to him while he wants to.
Yep.
Foul ball. Runners are on the corners. I'm sorry, runners are bases loaded.
Bases loaded.
As they intentionally walked Branch a minute ago. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the batter. Trevor Howerton looking for his second hit of the game.
Break things open, too, if he gets one.
Low in the dirt. 2-2 is the count.
Brandon Butler's gone through a lot of batters here in this game. I don't know how many pitches, but he's still out there on the mound, toughing it out.
There's a base hit towards the second baseman. It's nice play by Mumford over there to get the
force out at second.
That's going to end the inning for the Crabbers. They picked up 1 run on 3 hits.
Here's the last play, the bouncer to Mumford. He's going to flip it to Galloway for the force at second to end that inning.
1 run, 3 hits, no errors, and they left 3 on. So after 2.5 now, the Crabbers out in front by a score of 10-6. And they were 2 batters short of batting around again. Leading off the bottom of the 3rd inning for the Bruins, Jarrell Small, the designated hitter, followed by Darius Mullen and Kyle Easters. You smell them hot dogs back there?
No, I don't actually. Scott, do you smell those, man?
All right, after the Crabbers have had their warm-ups, this should bring up the designated hitter, Jarrell Small.
Once again, folks, we're at Bethel High School as we're watching the Hampton Crabbers play the Bethel Bruins.
Small reached base the first inning with a walk and was stranded at third. There's a little ground ball hit to the first baseman. Nice flip by the pitcher to get the out on the speedy Small.
Yeah, I think Smalls figured he kind of fouled that one off. It went off the bottom end of his bat, off his hands almost.
Darius Mullen now bats. He had a base hit and had 2 RBIs in the first inning as he knocked in 2 runs.
That was kind of a crucial hit for him. Watch it, he's kind of gets it off the bottom end of his bat and right straight down into the ground.
First pitch is inside the Mullins for a ball.
The hit that Mullins got earlier was a nice key hit. Really brought the Bruins a couple of runs that kept them, or gave them the lead, actually.
There's a fly ball down the third base line.
Slice that one in.
Drop in for a base hit. Takes a wide turn at first. That's a young man that really can run. He is fast. And that's one of the plays where defensively you got to watch out because he might take that pitch and try to leg out a double on it. He was halfway down the line.
Here comes the replay. Slices it to the opposite field.
He was halfway down the second base line before he finally stopped and went around. Well, that's going to bring up number 14, the catcher, Kyle Easters. He fouls back the first pitch. 0-1. Easters reached base and scored in the first inning.
Bethel looking to get a couple of runs in this inning. They don't want to get too far behind. I know it's still early.
High and outside. Evens the count at 1-1.
Brett Wheeler has anything in mind here for his runner at first base on this.
There he goes.
There he goes.
On a slow curveball. He ran on a perfect pitch, and it was a good throw down in the bag, but he outran it. Mullins, with his speed.
He stole that one almost off the pitcher on that one.
Well, he threw a curveball, so that was the perfect pitch to be going on anyhow. It was called ball, so it's 2-1. Easter's the batter. Now with Mullins down at second. Pops it up down to first base line, out of play. Back passing beyond the truck. That'll even the count at 2-2.
Oh, nice pitch. Nice pitch, Mike.
Got a little bit off on that one. He got him looking. So that's 2 down now as Easter strikes out looking. Corey Morris, the left fielder, is the batter. Singled and scored into first. Darius Mullins down at second base after getting a base hit and stealing the bag. Fastball right down the middle.
Got to be swinging at those. 2 outs here with a runner scoring position. You're looking to get a base hit and get that run in.
Hey, what? Matt Schaefer has come on strong here after giving up 6 runs in that first inning. Got nothing in the last inning so far. They've shut him out this time. There's a fly ball to right field as Ricks makes the 3rd out of the inning. As the Bethel Bruins go down with no runs. They did have 1 hit and 1 was left. So after 3 complete, the Hampton Crabbers out in front of the Bethel Bruins by a score of 10-6.
Here comes that last play. Just hit straight to right field. Ricks makes the catch, and that'll be the 3rd out. So you're right, Mike. Schaefer's settled down a little bit here. He's got that off-speed pitch, breaking pitch working for him now. He's kept him off balance. And here's our first change. We're going to have a new pitcher for the Bethel Bruins. Looks like number 2, and that is who? Is that 2 or 12? Looks like number 2, doesn't it?
Yes, that is number 2.
Number 2 is Jarrell Small. Ryan Sweet. Sounds like somebody's trying to tell us they're switching third base and pitcher.
Well, that ain't true because Galloway was playing. Well, Galloway was at short. At third must have been the shortstop.
Ryan Sweet was at third. Yeah. So it looks like Ryan Sweet's going to the mound. And I'm assuming Brandon Butler went to third base.
Let's see.
Number 2, Ryan Sweet. Let's see if we got any information on Ryan Sweet from Coach Wheeler here. As a pitcher. Ryan Sweet has pitched 2 innings so far this year. Faced 9 batters. Hasn't given up a run. Only 1 hit, 2 strikeouts.
Pitch is high for a ball. The batter is Ryan Trimble, Crabbers' first baseman.
Let's see if we can find this here Ryan Sweet. Let's see what he is. I was trying to find out whether he was a freshman, sophomore, junior, but I don't appear to have the information.
Nice pitching inside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the batter, and this is Ryan Trimble. He reached base in the first with a walk and scored and had a base hit and an RBI in the second. Or in the third, I'm sorry. Woohoo, that one looked good.
Brought that one.
2-2 now is the count. I thought he stood there and looked at a third strike. You did too, huh? It doesn't matter. He just swung on that one. So Trimble goes down swinging for the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up the catcher, Ben Ferris, number 16. Ferris reached base in the second with an error and scored. And he popped out to the second baseman for the 3rd out of the same inning when they batted around. And he was the 13th or 11th batter. There's a base hit down the first base line.
That's going to be trouble.
That's at least 2.
I think that's probably where they're holding right
and that's
there.
where Danny Mitchell tells him to stop. So Ferris reaches second with a double.
The way that Ham's been hitting the ball today and running, Danny can hold him right there for right now. That's a nice slicing hit.
Yeah, that was a pretty hit.
About a foot fair inside the line.
We had a perfect view of it from where we were standing. The ball landed about a foot or two inside the line and went all the way to the fence. Yep. Nice play.
I've been at other fields, Mike, and you hit a ball like that in some other fields and you end up on third base.
Yeah. Charles Ricks, now the batter, struck out in the second inning, and he popped out to the first baseman last inning. What a runner on second base now. 1 out here in the top of the 4th. That was in the dirt. Nice play by the catcher.
Hampton keeping the pressure on Bethel inning after inning.
Like Hampton sent in a courtesy runner for Ferris out there, and I don't see the number, so I can't say who it is.
I'm going to guess it's Marcel Lambert.
15, yes, that's who it is.
Marcel Lambert, he seems to be their primary courtesy runner.
Well, he can only courtesy run for that player now. He can't go in and courtesy run for any other player. And then again, their pitcher, if he happens to be courtesy run for, then they have to use a different runner, and that same person has to run for him too, unless he enters the game. Pitch is outside for a ball. 2-0 is the count. Let's see if Charles can help his team out.
Ooh, yeah.
Nice pitch right down the middle of the plate for a call strike. 2-1.
Danny and I were talking before the game about his team being so young and getting into games and being mentally prepared for them. I'll tell you what, they seem to be prepared for this game today. They are relentless.
Pulls that one back.
There it is. Can he get him down there? Yes. Steal the bases, hit and run, bunt them over, run the bases, force the other team. That's Danny Mitchell ball.
3-1 now is the count on the batter, Charles Ricks. Last pitch was in the dirt, and it was all the catcher could do to keep that ball from getting by him. So now they got a runner in scoring position at third base. There's a pitch outside as Ricks will be on first base with a walk. Puts the runners at the corners. Ricks at first, and
Sean Fields, the batter.
That's Lambert at third. Leadoff batter Sean Fields.
Now, how many hits does Fields have already? He's got what, 2?
He is 2 for 3.
2 for 3.
He grounded out to the second baseman in the first inning. Had a base hit in the second with an RBI, and had a base hit and a stolen base in the third inning, now batting in the 4th.
So you got a good contact batter up here, a speedy runner on first. Let's see if Danny's going to do anything. Well, Bethel thinks they might, so they check the runner at first. I'm guessing Danny's going to try and move that runner from first over to second. Now, how he does it.
Well, there's only one out, so if they do try to throw him out, they have a chance of scoring too. There's the old fake a throw to third and fake a throw to first, right?
Yeah, Brett's thinking along the same lines I am. That's twice now they've looked at the runners here before they've thrown to the batter.
I've got to be very careful with this batter because he can hit the ball.
Yes, he can and will.
On the outside corner.
That would have been a nice pitch to take to the right side, too.
Well, yeah, because look at the line he's got over there.
Holding the runner on first base, it's a wide open hole.
What's a right fielder about 40 yards off the line?
Further than that.
He's expecting this young man. He's expecting this young man to pull the ball. That one's in the dirt. 1-1 is the count. There's one out here in the top of the 4th inning. Crabber's out in front, 10-6.
In not a pitcher's duel.
Yep. That was right down the middle of the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes is now the count.
There's 2 good pitches now that Sean Fields has taken.
Pitches in the dirt. Nice way to hold that back. Evens the count at 2-2. You hear the hollering and screaming over there from the girls' softball game being taking place over there. There's a ground ball to first base.
Oh, they're
nice
go
play
for
by
2.
Mullins. They did not get him as he is safe, and he ends up getting an RBI as coming home to score was Lambert.
Mike, that was a smooth play by Mullins at first.
So Ricks is the second out as he's forced at second. Fields will reach first base on a fielder's choice. Gets the RBI. That gives him 2 RBIs for the game.
I thought with holding that runner there, that ball might go through, but Mullins got off, made a good play on the ball.
Matt Schaefer is the hitter now, the Crabbers pitcher. Takes a pitch for a strike. He's 1 for 3 so far and scored twice. Base hit in the first and scored. Reached safely in the second inning with an error and grounded out to the third baseman last inning. As last inning, the Crabbers batted around.
Hampton, last game they played, as I told you earlier, was against Kickintan, and they got no hit, and they sure are just the opposite. Ooh.
That was close. Boy, it would have been nice to have had a camera sitting down on that line because it couldn't have missed that bag by much.
That was a gutsy decision by Brandon Butler at third base. That ball was bunted right down the third base line. And it looked like it was going to stay fair from here, Mike.
Well, even if it had stayed fair, he was back far enough where he would have had a base hit out of it.
Yeah.
Well, anyhow, 0-2 now is the count.
Brandon let it go, and that thing evidently did hop foul at the last moment.
Pitch is high, and
we're going to have it on runner advanced here.
Past the catcher as Sean Fields advances over to second base. Well, it must have
just
been
the way Brandon came in.
I tell you what, Danny Mitchell
stopped and spread his legs.
Danny Mitchell didn't say nothing, so I guess he agreed with the call.
Danny was kind of laughing at Brandon the way he just all of a sudden last minute stopped and opened up his legs and let the ball go under.
It had to miss the plate by the base by inches. 1 ball, 2 strikes is the count here to Crabber pitcher Matt Schaefer. Trying to extend the lead a little bit, give him a little bit more room.
That was going to be in fair territory.
That's at least a double to left field. Coming around to score is Sean Fields for the 12th run of the inning.
How many hits is that, Mike?
That's a bunch.
For the Crabbers
Matt Schaefer hits a double. Well, let's see. They had 3, 7, 10, 11, 12. That's 12 hits so far. 12 hits. 12 hits on 12 runs.
Here's the replay.
12 runs on 12 hits.
Right down the line and left. And as I was getting ready to say earlier, they were no hit by the Kickintan Warriors on Friday. And Danny said, one of the keys to today's game is that we're going to have to hit the ball where nobody is. When we play Kickintan, we hit it right at them. Yeah. They moved the ball around, but every time they hit it was right to a defensive player. He said, we've got to learn to hit it where they. And how many? Did you say 14?
Well, they've got 12 hits. They've got 12 runs on 12 hits.
I'd say they're hitting them where they ain't today. Hitting with authority as well.
The Bruins have 2 errors so far in the games, and then that hurt them a little bit in the second inning when they batted around and scored all those runs. Called out a strike, and I thought it was a bit on the low side. Will Johnson is the batter. Johnson is 1 for 3. Got 1 run as he knocked in a run off of a fly ball in the second inning. That one gets away from the catcher. Going over to third base, Schaefer. So we got a runner at third now with 2 down. Will Johnson tried to knock in run number 13 as they have 12 currently.
Doubled up on the on the Bruins.
Now this is pretty much what happened in that game over at Heritage. They just came out there and just started slugging the ball. We had an error here or an error there. As a ball hit to the third baseman's got to make a great play, and he did not make it. As Will Johnson, one of the speediest guys on the team, legs out a base hit and gets an RBI out of it as Schaefer comes in from third to score and run number 13. I'll tell you what, that was going to have to be a tremendous play by the Bethel third baseman because this guy can run too.
Watch the replay, and Brandon Butler's no slouch on his throw. He takes a little extra time getting it out of his glove. But both of these teams, Mike, if you don't get rid of the ball quickly, they're going to be safe. There's plenty of speed on both sides of the dugouts today.
So this is Corey Johnson now as he's up. That's a shot to the shortstop.
Slow ball, though. Just got him by a step or so.
Mullins made a great play over at first base to get that third out as the ball was thrown in the dirt. Well, that's going to end the top of the fourth inning for the Crabbers, but they did come up with 3 runs on 3 hits, 1 walk, no errors in that inning, and there was 1 left on. Man. All right, we'll take a short break while the crew in the truck changes tape, so we'll be back here in a couple minutes.
Don't go anywhere. We got a slugfest going on.
Floor, so we can put them out. All right, back here at Bethel after a quick change of the tape.
And no runs scored while we were gone.
No. As a matter of fact, no pitches. This is going to be
a clean transition.
Kyle Mumford is leading off for the Bruins here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Mumford had a single and a couple of RBIs in the first inning of play. Pitches again a ball. 2-0 is the count. Right now, so far, the Bruins they netted 6 runs in the first inning.
That was the first inning.
They haven't done anything since then. So they're looking for something to start happening here in the 4th.
They got to do it here. They got to get something, a run or 2.
2-1 now the count on the Bruins second baseman Kyle Mumford. A little change-up come in there, is swinging fouled straight back. It evens the count at 2-2. Bethel crowd over here trying to get their team fired up as they are down by 7 runs by a score of 13-6.
And they know they need base runners back there.
There's a fly ball to center field.
Should be an easy out there.
For the first out of the inning. Goes down F8.
Center fielder Trevor Howerton.
Gary Tucker now will be the next batter. He had a base hit in the first inning and scored.
Here's that last play. You can see it's just a lazy pop fly to center field. Howerton comes under, makes the play.
Came up in the second inning and grounded out to the third baseman as he took it unassisted. Nice slow curveball into Quentin Rogers. I'm sorry, Gary Tucker.
How many hits does he have again? 1 hit, 2 hits?
Tucker, he's got 1 hit.
1 hit.
1 for 2 so far. 1-1 is the count.
So that could be trouble. Yep, that one's going to skip in there for a base hit.
So Tucker reaches first base safely. That's going to bring up the second batter, Quentin Rogers. He is 1 for 2 as he singled in the first inning. Grounded out to the shortstop in the second inning.
Tucker and Rogers are the leading batters for the Bruins. Tucker was batting .489 coming in this game. He's got 2 hits, so that'll go up. And Rogers is hitting .444, and he's, 1 for 2, so that'll go up just a little bit.
There's a line shot to the second baseman.
That's going to be a double play.
Yeah, let's see. Did they get him?
No.
Nope. Got the force out at second, though, as Tucker is forced out at second base for the second out.
He didn't have anywhere to go. That ball was hit so hard he couldn't even move first base. He just kind of, boom, there's the relay from second to short, and he beat that one by a good step and a half.
Yep. What's the matter now? Danny out here on the field. He made a kind of a horseshoe turn back towards the catcher or the umpire here, and he's trying to explain something to him.
I think I know what he's talking about. I can't hear him from here, but I think he wants
the runner
a double
at first
play.
base.
He's saying the runner
at first base did not go, and he stopped in the baseline and impeded the throw.
Yes.
But I can tell you right now,
they're not going to call it.
They're not going to call it because they haven't.
That one.
I've seen it about 3 times this year, and they won't call it. The only time I'll see him called is if the runner does not slide going into base.
Now, on that one, the runner gave himself up. He was nowhere near the second base play. He had given himself up.
As a matter of fact, he turned around like he was going back. He thought it was a line drive.
You can't do anything at all. But if he had gone towards second base and not slid or had not given himself up, gone in standing up, then you've got the automatic double.
Well, this is the shortstop, Corey Galloway. He's batting 0 for 2 so far.
Time for him to get a hit.
That's a wild pitch in the dirt. Taking off the second base is Quentin Rogers. That wasn't even close.
I thought he was going to turn and go to third.
Get him in, Wheeler.
Pitch was low. It was a ball. 1-0. 2 down here.
13-6. Hampton leading Bethel.
And there he goes on a fly ball to center field.
That one's a
routine
up and down.
out, and that is the third out of the inning. So for the Bethel Bruins, no runs. Let's see. They had one hit. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. There was 1 left. So after 4 complete.
Here's the last play. Just a simple fly to center field. Trevor Howerton once again makes the play out there.
So we've completed 4 here at Bethel. The Hampton Crabbers are out in front of the Bruins by a score of 13-6.
And I don't think we expected this when we came out here. Not this kind of score from these two teams. Both of them coming in record-wise.
This is what I'm looking at right here. I'm looking at the scorebook that shows the Bethel Bruins.
Get past this.
The Bethel Bruins scoring 6 runs in the first inning, and they have only had 1 runner each inning after that. So the Crabbers pitcher, Matt Schaefer, has really settled down here in the after giving up 6 runs in the first inning.
That's got to make Danny Mitchell feel good. Here you've got a 9th grade pitcher that goes out in the first inning, and he gets his clock cleaned.
Yeah, he did.
He gets his clock cleaned.
Oh, look at that.
And Mike.
Scotty.
I got him, Scotty. I'm holding.
13-6 is the score.
Danny's got to feel good about having a 9th grade going out there and getting beat around, and then coming back in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th innings and holding them to nothing.
Leading off the top of the 5th inning for the Crabbers is their third baseman, Devin Branch, who is also one of their starting pitchers on the season. By the way, Devin Branch does have a no-hitter in his career here at Hampton.
Does he?
As I believe, a freshman at Phoebus came into Hampton, and there's a ground ball to the shortstop for the first out. That was that was one of the games that we televised over at Hampton a couple of years ago, and Devin Branch for the Crabbers was pitching against the fans. And if it wasn't for 2 errors by the shortstop in that particular game, it would have been a perfect game.
Wow.
Here's Phoebus
Here's the ground ball to Galloway at shortstop. He makes a clean play, throws it to first. Plenty of time for the out.
This is going to bring up Trevor Howerton. For the Crabbers, he struck out in the first. He had a base hit in the second. And he struck out in the 3rd inning. He's 1 for 3 on the game. 2 balls and no strikes is the count now on Howerton. There's a little ground ball hit back up the box.
Called foul.
Called foul by the plate umpire. Well, that's going to go up a bit after this game, but still. Ground ball hit to the shortstop as he.
Whoa! That throw tailed on him there.
Ball gets by the first baseman. So Howerton is on base with a E6 as the throw.
Watch this throw here, Mike. This throw just kind of tails. I don't know what happened. He kind of maybe gets under it a little bit, and you can see how it just tails off to the side.
Well, he threw the ball sidearm too, and that's gonna make the ball rise up a little bit, and that's what happened. And Mullins couldn't get to the ball quick enough, so we have a runner for the Crabbers in the name of Howerton standing at first base. This is going to bring up Ryan Trimble. Trimble had a base on balls and scored in the 2nd inning, had a base hit in the 3rd, struck out in the 4th, so he's 1 for 2 officially.
He is a freshman, Mike. Another one of those 4 freshmen. I'm just going to start calling him the 4 freshmen. The 4 freshmen. Smell those.
Yeah, there's
like hamburgers there.
1-1 now is the count. Yeah, it's getting kind of potent here. Got a couple of buddies. Look at that. My buddy's over there. He's standing next to it.
That smells good. There goes the base runner.
There goes
from his
Howard
knees.
in second. He's in there safely.
Well, that was a good throw from the catcher. He was on his knees. Tony Pena.
What's the call?
They're going to call the batter out for interference, and the runner is going to go back to first. That's what it appears.
So Trimble is going to be called out at the plate for interference.
Evidently Trimble went across here. We got the cameraman took it. Well, it looks like he just took a little step there. But evidently it was enough to go over the plate, and you can't interfere with the throw of the catcher.
So that sends Howerton back to first base, and Ben Ferris is now the batter. He's the catcher. He is 1 for 3 officially, as he had a double last inning.
Well, he's 2 for something now.
That's a base hit.
4. Boy, I tell you, that think about that last play. The runner would have been on second base. There's a good possibility, knowing Danny, that he would have sent the runner in. So that
Chris Ricks now the batter.
Could have cost him a run.
He walked his last attempt at the plate. There goes Lambert.
Marcel Lambert. Courtesy runner. He's getting a lot of action today, isn't he?
Well, it's the third time he's been out there, or fourth time. Runners now at first and second. Throw back to second base safely. 13-6 is our score here in the top of the fifth inning. 2 down. As the Crabbers' Chris Ricks, the right fielder, is at the plate.
If you're just joining us, you missed the fireworks in the first couple of innings. As we had Bethel scored 6 runs in the bottom half of the first. Hampton scored 3 in their top half and then came back with 6 more in the second. So we had a score of 9-6 after an inning and a half.
And the Crabbers have tacked on 4 more since then. A 13-6 lead. Pitch is low in the dirt. And
there goes another steal.
And they both go.
You can't close your eyes with Crabber runners on the base pass. You've always got to be ready for them to take another base.
Well, I can tell you right now that Danny Mitchell's standing back there looking at the umpire saying, okay, you're not going to let me go that way. I'm going to go this way. And that's exactly what he did. And now the Crabbers have runners in score position at second and third. 2 down. The batter is Ricks, and they're taking a little bit of time as the batter.
It looks like Howerton might have just
got a slight nick there when he slid in.
Foot. He's smiling, so we know he's okay. Kenny Galt goes down to make sure everything's all right. Kenny Galt, the home plate umpire this afternoon. He checks it out and says, all right, boys, let's play ball.
One ball, no strikes now to Ricks. Outside, 2-0. Ricks walked last time he batted. He's 0 for 2, struck out and popped out to the first baseman back in the third inning.
All right, here comes a replay at third. Let's see if we can see anything here. There's the slide. He's safe, no problem. He gets up, looks like he's okay, but evidently he might have jammed his foot or something, twisted an ankle. But nothing too bad, although he's bending down.
3-1 to count to Ricks. Right down the middle of the plate. He was taken all the way. Full count. There's a base open, but this is the guy right here that the Bruins need to get out.
Get him out, yes. You don't want to get back on
hitter,
top.
and they walk
right there.
So that's 2. Twice in a row now he walks and loads the bases. You got Ricks at first, Ferris is at second.
And one of the 4 freshmen.
Marcel is at second, and Howerton is at third. And that's going to bring up the top of the lineup, Sean Fields.
And this kid is dangerous.
And that's why. That's a gapper.
That's a deep one there. That's going
all
to
the way to the fence.
He's going to plate 3. Here's 1. Here's 2. Here comes the other one. There's a slide, and Fields is going to go to third on the throw. So the freshman connection, Sean Fields, the shortstop, drills that one. And I mean, Mike, he punished that ball.
That ball went all the way in the gap to right center field to the fence.
Here comes the replay. Watch this. He gets into it. That ball is in a place where nobody's going to get to it quickly. It'll go all the way back. Nice gather by the center fielder there. Fields is in with a double, all 3 runs score. There's the 3rd run scoring there, and as you see the ball get away from the catcher, Fields goes to 3rd.
So with 2 down now and a bases clearing double by Sean Fields, that's going to bring up the pitcher, Matt Schaefer. And let me tell you something. This young man right here,
right now?
absolutely. He gave up 6 runs in the first inning, and his team's come back and scored 13 unanswered runs.
And Schaefer's thinking, well, pitching's not too bad when you get this many runs.
Well, he's a good hitter because they got him in the number 2 spot. So, even if he is a freshman, you got 2 freshmen leading off the team.
Yeah, 1-2.
And look what they produced. He's 2 for 3, scored 3 runs, and has 2 RBIs. Well, we're going to catch what trying to figure out a player of a game in this thing, because I think just about every player on the Crabbers team is producing today. Pitches low, ball 4.
They walk Schaefer.
4 straight pitches, by the way. That'll put runners at first and third. That's going to bring up Will Johnson.
So they walk this man to get to a guy that's, 2 for 4?
Will Johnson has,
Here comes Coach Wheeler. We may have seen the last, unfortunately, of this young man who's come in there to pitch, Ryan Sweet. I guess that's how you pronounce it, Ryan Sweet.
They're going to bring Darius Mullins in to pitch. And I assume at this point in time, Sweet will move over to first.
This has just been, sadly, one of those games for the Bruins where everything they've thrown across the plate, inside, outside, up, down. These Hampton Crabber batters today, Mike, have just been on it. Some days you can't see the pitch. Today, it's the old saying, it looks like a beach ball to them. They're just battering it all over the place.
Yeah, let's see. They've got a couple of changes there. There's number 3 for the.
Looks like we're going to get. Doesn't look like it's going to be Mullins.
Well, Mullins is moving out. Mullins went to right field.
Looks like we're going to get number 15. Looks like Quentin Rogers coming in to pitch. I don't think he's pitched at all this year. Got my stats here. Let me see. Nope. This will be his first appearance.
Left-hander.
Butler's pitched this year, Galloway, Horvath, and Ryan Sweet. And, of course, we saw Ryan pitch for the second time. Quentin Rogers is going to move in from right field, and he's going to throw from the left side. And you're right, we've got a whole bunch of other changes around. Looks like Ryan Sweet's going to go to first.
And Mullins went to right, and
a new guy going into left, or is somebody just changing?
Well, it's number
gloves?
7, and that's Morris. He came in and
changed gloves or something, or get some water
back out there. So here we go with runners at the corners, first and third.
Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like right here on live TV, or actually we're not live TV, but almost close, you're going to see the first pitching appearance of Quentin Rogers this year.
Will Johnson is the batter for the Crabbers, 2 for 4.
How would you like to have to come in this situation and face Will Johnson,
Corey Johnson, and Devin Branch. One of the top 3 hitters in the district.
For your first appearance as a pitcher.
Pitches outside, gets beyond the Bruin catcher, and taken off to second base is Schaefer. So now we got runners in scoring position at third and second.
16-6 your score here as Hampton is beginning to open up the gap in this game. Sure, that's not making the Bethel fans happy at this moment.
Popped it up in the infield on the right-hand side of the field. And they're making the play at first to end the inning. But the Crabbers strike for 3 runs on 3 hits. There was 2 left. There was no errors. So after 4.5, the Crabbers have extended the lead now over the Bruins by a score of 16-6.
And credit Quentin Rogers coming in for his first pitching appearance, throws 2 pitches and gets him out of the inning. There goes Schaefer to the mound, and right now, yeah, you can tell by the way he gets the ball, he's just feeling real relaxed.
Well, he's done very well since the first inning, giving up 6 runs in the first inning, but he's shut them out since then, as the Bruins now will be batting in the bottom of the 5th inning.
How many base runners has Bethel had since the first inning? Not very many, have they?
Let's see. None there, 1 there, and 1 there.
2 base
so they've
runners.
had 2 base runners.
Both hits, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Crabbers have yet to commit an error in the game.
That can make a big difference.
The Bruins have committed 2 back in the second inning. So in the bottom of the 5th inning, the Bruins will be sending to the plate the original starting pitcher of the game, Brandon Butler, who has moved over to third. This will be his 3rd trip. He walked in the first inning, struck out looking in the second, and now batting in the bottom of the 5th inning to lead it off. What a great day it's turned out to be. The sun is trying to peek through the skies.
Butler hitting .367 coming into this game, had 8 RBIs, scored 11 runs, had 3 doubles and a triple.
Slow curve balls in the dirt, ball 1. And you can hear all the people over here in the background with their field mic. They're picking everybody up.
Yeah. They're
One
trying
ball,
to
no
get them
strikes.
going.
There's a fly ball to short
That
center
could be
field. It
trouble.
might fall, and it looks like the right fielder may have pulled up a little early. Did he? Hope he didn't pull a muscle out there.
Well, we got a little Texas leaguer into right center field. Here comes the hit. Just pops it right up there. Little Texas leaguer right there for the base hit.
Trevor Howerton out in right field. They're checking him out, and I believe they're going to
I think
they're going to probably pull him out of the game because it looked like when he took off after that ball, he may have pulled a muscle.
center field.
Center
Howerton,
fielder.
yeah. Well, he's the one that slid in here to third base, and we said, something had happened to his leg or foot. And I mentioned that he kept bending over.
They're moving Ricks from right to center, and they will bring in number 5, which is Mo.
You can say it. Umair.
Okay.
Umair. Number 5, Mo Umair, or I hope we're pronouncing that right. So he'll take the place of Howerton.
Yeah, that's it. Umair.
Umair. If we're pronouncing it wrong, we apologize.
So he goes in for Howerton.
And Danny's not taking any chances. He's got a 10-run lead here.
There's a ball hit. Oh,
Whoa.
Nice play. Did he get the out? Yes, he did.
Whoa. Sean Fields, the shortstop for the Crabbers. And ball took a bad bounce, Mike, right at the last moment. Came up on him. Watch this ball. Let's hope we got this one. It's a ground ball to short. There's the bounce up, and Sean Fields is able to stay with it and still make the forced play at second base. That's a fine play. And I know I'm harping on this, but that's a freshman making that play, Mike.
That's going to bring up Darius Mullen. Mullen singled in the first and singled in the third. And there's a shot to the second baseman. Nice hop. There's the first out and the second out as they doubled up Mullen at first.
Now
That's going to end the inning for the Bethel Bruins here in the bottom of the 5th inning on that double play by the Crabbers. What a freshman class they got playing in the middle of the infield.
This is a freshman playing at second base. This is Danny's son, Matt Mitchell, who takes the hop, feeds it to Fields, back to first, boom, boom, boom.
And, gentlemen, the game is over on the 10-run rule. I didn't even think about that.
I hadn't even thought about it. I just mentioned they had a 10-run lead.
Oh, my goodness, the game is over.
We got to come up with some players of the game.
Well,
Mike.
I think as far as the Hampton Crabbers are concerned, it's got to be this young man right here. After giving up 6 runs in the first inning, he shuts them out the rest of the way.
And that's to take nothing away from the batters for Hampton who had all the hits. I mean, you had batters on there going 2 for 4, 3 for 5, nothing against them. But, folks, you got a 9th grader on the mound who gives up 6 runs in the first inning and then, like Mike said, totally shut them down.
So Matt Schaefer is going to be the Crabbers player of the game as he absolutely dominated defensively here in the after the first inning of play. I mean, Bethel got 1 runner on in 1 inning, another runner on in the next inning, and that was it.
That was it.
So we have to come up with a player of the game for the Bethel Bruins here real quick. And it looks like to me, right here, Darius Mullen, even though he knocked into that double play, was 2 for 3.
2 for 3.
And he was the only player on the team that had 2 hits.
Well, Tucker had 2 hits
did
up here too. So
Mullins had 2 RBIs, though.
Let's go with Mullins.
Darius Mullins is our player of the game for the Bethel Bruins. Okay, so for Mike Hauser and Paul Rowe, we're done here at Bethel High School where the Hampton Crabbers make a short effort of it here as they take care of the Bethel Bruins by a score of 16-6. So
Hampton brought their bats with them today, and they just beat the ball to death. Big
so
turnaround.
for Paul Rowe, Mike Hauser, along with the rest of the WHCS Channel 46 crew, we say goodbye until next time.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.